Hello, everyone.
Hey, everybody.
Believe it or not, the man behind me is taller than I am by 2 inches. Even though it looks like I'm bigger, he's further away. So let me do this. You talk about, just hold it there so it doesn't fall down.
Okay, sure.
So, just talk about how exciting it was to meet me in person. You do have the script I told you, right?
Yes,
You've
yes.
memorized that?
Let me get this script out here. Yeah, so it's been fun. We've been hanging out. We went and got to the marina and drew some boats. And we went to a pub and met a fella and played with pens at the bar. That was very fun as well. And made food. Got an ice cream.
And you got shat on by a bird.
Oh, I got bird poop off my hand on my drawing. Yeah.
So what we did, I'll show the drawings. Let's see if I can hold them up. You can see them. We'll do it this way. So we went to the marina, and the first thing I noticed that was kind of fun were these big masts on the fishing boat fleet. And all of the rigging and the booms and the pulleys and the lights. And I don't know what they all were, but they were really, really fun to draw. And I remarked that they looked like some weird S&M crucifix cross thing. I'm trying without the body tied to it. Sometimes you see different religions. The Russian Orthodox has an extra line on it. Some of them have two. There's one at the bottom and one at the top, not just the cross this way. Roman Catholics, I think, have, sometimes you see an extra crossbar. So that's what these things looked like to me. So poor Cedar, on the other hand, had to draw this.
Yeah, it was very fun. I hadn't gone out and drawn like that. This one is kind of the dock with some boats, but it's hard to kind of make out what's going on there.
Well, you were following my lead. I said, you don't have to draw a single boat. If you draw a bunch of them piled on top of each other, you can't help but make it look realistic. It's just a clusterfuck.
Right.
So who can't
This
draw?
one looks more
Who
like
can't draw a clusterfuck?
one of those boats with the
crucifix
stuff.
And there was a hedge in front of us, which was.
There are these interesting. These are actual pedal boats. That were shaped like birds.
Birds and ducks and geese and stuff. Dragons.
That's how I managed to turn out. Pier put a lot more drawings out.
I also did some on my iPad. And you can see them on my various places. So then we had some ice cream. And then we decided to bring me to a watering hole and it was Valentine's Day. So we became Valentines just by chance.
It was a chance Valentine's
event. So
we met some fun people there. It's a nice young guy sitting there chatting with us.
We'll start though with what we drew. So we, of course, being pen people, had pens with us. And I had paper, so I put the paper between us, and I drew a guy, and he drew a guy. I drew with a Skyline flexible nib sort of pen, and Cedar drew with a beautiful, very stiff, firm, fine Schaefer Lifetime. So I drew my guy and he drew his guy, and so this is the ideal couple. My guy is giving that guy some flowers, and that guy is giving the other guy some candy. And I think Cedar's boy is a little bit more hopeful about what was going to happen than this guy is scared to death. Oh, does it mean that?
I don't know. I was picturing the couple as being longtime partners or something.
Oh,
Not necessarily a first date. Maybe you had more of a first date.
I had a first
concept.
date thing going on, like,
Right.
but we did think that it would be fun to do a drawing of them having sex afterwards, where he would draw, and I would with his pen, his guy, and I would draw with my pen, my guy, and we'd see what would happen. We didn't do that. Maybe we'll do that tonight. Or not. We also continued to have fun. Mainly this was Cedar having fun with pens that I brought to the show. And most of the pens I brought were flexible nib pens. And this paper is glossy, so I don't know what quality it has, but the ink just poured out of the pens onto that paper. It just, it's although the drawings were very wet, which is kind of strange. So, and then we met the guys. Now we can talk about the guys we met who.
Well, we only really talked with the one guy. The other guy didn't chat with us much.
No.
The one guy was really interested. He liked the pens. He was interested in who we were
and what we did. And
he's very friendly.
He was
very
a
nice guy.
plumber, and his name starts with an A.
I can't remember the name. I'm bad with names. I know that he was born in 1995 because
we talked about old people.
I graduated from high school in 1995, so it was memorable. It stayed in my mind.
So his name started with an A, and his friend's name was Roger, and his name wasn't Andy. I don't think.
No.
It wasn't Andrew. Was it Austin?
Might have been. That sounds kind of right to me.
It might have been Austin. Yes, I crossed a T, Austin.
Really nice. Oh yeah, you wrote it, so that can help.
I wrote
it in your brain.
It does help put it in your brain.
What was his friend's name?
And it's also,
he wrote that too.
That's his friend's name was Roger.
Roger. I see.
And I don't know if they were on a date or not.
You think they were? I thought they were buddies.
I think they were just buddies. They were hapless buddies, single, without a real date on Valentine's Day. How sad is that? We weren't sad though.
Nah, we're too old to be sad about that now.
Too old to be sad that I'm single. Sounds like a country western song title.
It does.
I'm too old to be sad to be single. How's that? Sounds like a hit.
It does really sound like that.
So I'm so rare a talking head on my own StreamYards. This is scaring me. My father would say when we would talk on Zoom, he would say, or on FaceTime, my dad would say, "Pier, do you own a mirror in your house? Do you know what you look like? Or do you have a comb? Well, I don't have a hair anymore, Dad. So who needs a comb?"
I'm often disturbed by FaceTime as well. When it's like, just do a voice call. I don't really need to see anything.
Well, it's amazing what the modern phone and posting globally selfies is so weird, because back when we were kids, to get a family portrait cost money. You'd have to hire a guy to come in to take a picture.
Well, if you want a fancy one.
Well, a good one.
You can do a snapshot.
You could do a snapshot if you could ask a neighbor to come over and hold the camera or whatever. But
that's true. Some cameras had timers when I was a little boy in the 80s.
But you still had to develop the film. The film had 12 exposures, and then you had to hello, Gary Scott.
Gary.
Then you had to pay to have them developed. So you made sure that you didn't have a piece of broccoli in between your front teeth,
That's very true.
and you wore a shirt that was pressed, and you
Yes.
took a picture of something that actually was interesting. Now, no one ever took a picture of what they ate for breakfast.
Yeah. That's good.
It wasn't interesting then. It's not interesting now.
No, but people,
People seem to think it is. So
yeah, it's a running dialogue with one's entire life now. That's
Yeah.
how it works.
that's how it works. Everything is public, and everyone has to know about me, what I'm doing, what I'm thinking, what I'm doing right this very second. And so, what's on our plan for today? Tomorrow and the next day and the next day is the California Pen Show. So there's that. But today we're
Well, I was going to take us up to Carpinteria, and we could check out the bluffs and the ocean. It's really neat there. And
okay.
walk around
and
the
do some
little
drawing.
downtown area, do drawing. We have lunch there. And then I was going to take us on this beautiful drive up through into Ojai. There'll be more really nice scenery.
Good.
And we can stop up there and draw too.
Yep.
And then we could head back down into Ventura and have dinner, have more beer. I don't really drink, actually, but
I drink enough
Maybe.
for two.
yeah, maybe when we're at the Pen Show, I'll have one beer because I won't have to drive anywhere.
Yeah,
And
that's
maybe I'll have the first beer I've had since 2016. That was the last time
Am I a bad
had a
influence on you?
No, I don't really enjoy the effects of alcohol very much. I don't really get a good high off of it or whatever. Pier drinks all this beer, wakes up in the morning bright-eyed and bushy-tailed.
Champagne,
I-
alcohol
I wake up,
doesn't really.
I'm the one that looks like has a hangover, and he's just excited and ready to go. I'm like, wow, Pier,
But tell me.
no hangovers for you.
No, that isn't true. I did have a headache this morning.
Do you drink water?
I did
Use the water pitcher here. You know?
I just drank it out of the tap.
It tastes way better through the filtered water.
Okay. Okay.
Have
Well,
that.
so, are you needing to take a shower this morning? Or are you going to go in the wild?
Well, I could wash up, get cleaned up to go.
Okay.
And maybe I can make us some food. You know, I can make us some like breakfast, or
Food is good.
brunch kind of. Well, it's only 8:30.
Breakfast.
I'll make us some food,
Okay.
and we'll
Food
leave
is
with a
good.
full stomach.
Good.
Yeah.
I'm going to continue to chat for a little bit,
Okay. All right.
if
Good.
I may. I will not show more surroundings than I'm doing here.
I mean, it doesn't really matter. It's just a house.
What's interesting is he has a collection of drawings that you see back here and over there. I don't know if you can see them. And they're about the size of a postcard. And I thought they were reproductions of drawings that were reduced, but no, they are beautiful, intricate pencil illustrations or renderings of sort of imaginary objects
They're
in
imaginary objects.
in space, and they there's a little bit of MC Escher in the feel of them, maybe because of his drawing style was often. I think he did some stuff on pencil, intricate and illusionary, and but they also some
I
of
like
them,
MC Escher.
some
his stuff's neat.
yeah, some of them are. They look like what you would see under a microscope in a droplet of water.
I've had people say that.
Yeah.
That they have that kind of vibe.
They're
Yeah.
little crystals or single-celled animals.
Right.
I mean, that one with the gear in the spring, the calligraphic spring that the gear is on, the third one down on the right side. Right. You're the right side, not the left. There. Isn't that the right side?
That one with the little beads going through it?
No.
Oh, the
all
spring.
the way to the right.
Oh, that one. Those poles with that thing coming down through it. That one.
The third one down, the gear on its track.
Oh, that one.
The third one. So that, I don't know what, I forgot what I was going to say.
I can give you a postcard of that one.
Oh, great. I love that. But they're really, really amazing. I'm just going to switch the camera around here if I can do that. How do I do that? Settings. So really, really intricate. Oh, and there's a postcard of it. You are one tall man, mister.
It's the Dutch ancestry.
The Dutch ancestors.
Tall comes from.
And here's like dominoes or something. I hope this was going. Gary asks me, are they inspiration for a new art project to replace my pizza box art? I don't know the answer to that yet. So you bought a frame with a mat that was for postcards, probably originally.
No, actually, it's all custom. All that
Oh.
thing. My dad made the frame,
Oh,
and then my friend Tony has a laser cutting business, and he laser cut.
but he cut all those squares the same size, rather.
I gave him the orientation,
I see. Okay.
and then he cut it for me on his laser cutter.
Oh, neat. They're really, really fun, I think.
Makes it better.
And-
Enjoy the ride.
And I think you should make a book of them.
I have a book. I have a semi book, sort of. It doesn't have all of them.
Oh, okay.
It's a partial book.
Partial book. Well, that's often a good thing to do, to self-edit. I don't know how to do that.
Well, no, that's my friends. I didn't have them all made, but my friends helped me make this book.
Oh,
They really liked my art, and they're like, "Oh, we're gonna help you make a book." And I was like, "Oh, okay." I wasn't gonna really even share this artwork thing, but I was just doing it.
can you hold it?
Oh yeah.
Open it up.
Let's go this way.
Cedar Ballard. What does the small print say?
Under an Imagined Light. That's the name of the title of the series. But it has a little piece of writing in it. This fellow wrote stuff,
Okay.
and then
Yeah, I just want
it
to
has
see.
all the different
Oh,
panels and
beautiful.
plates. Sorry, here.
That's great. Cool. Well, it's already been done. Now, they made one copy for you, or
No,
is
I
this
have a couple left. I don't have that many left anymore
Okay.
because they've been sold, or I give them away too sometimes.
It's the book I printed up through whatever it was worked well for what I wanted to do with it. It might not work as well for something as intricate as your drawings.
Yeah, this was kind of expensive to print. This was like $30 a book.
Uh-huh.
Print. It wasn't a cheap print.
You know.
Yeah, but if you want one of them, you're
I would love one, but we'll talk.
okay.
Well, if you only have a few, I feel.
No, that's okay because it doesn't really much matter. You're one of my good friends. You should have one.
I should have one. So,
You like it enough to want it,
yeah, no, I do like it enough to want it.
If you like it enough to want it.
Did you become self-deprecating from the Dutch side of the family too?
I didn't know that was a trait of Dutch people.
I don't know either. It's just, I think it's a Minnesotan thing. So maybe Northern European, rather than the bragging, proud Italian type.
Well, my mom is half Italian and half Japanese.
Oh.
So I also have Italian, and I have Japanese.
So you're
And I
a
have
quarter
Dutch.
you're a quarter Japanese.
Yep. Quarter Japanese.
It-
Would you have ever guessed?
Well,
Now that you
when you mentioned last night about your mother and not drinking or something. I think you had mentioned
Oh, I
Japanese.
did, yeah.
But I
the
wasn't-
Japanese
but
side
I
of the
thought-
families.
I wonder whether that was, I misheard, but I was thinking as we were walking along, I said, is he half Japanese? I had no idea.
I'm a quarter Japanese. My dad is mostly Dutch.
I'm trying to find what quarter you are. The black hair.
Yeah.
The sort of straight black hair,
Yeah.
rather than curly black hair.
Yeah, and it's holding on. It's not completely falling out. The Japanese side of the family kept their hair.
Okay. So, well.
But I think my grandpa, the Dutch side of the family, they kept their hair pretty well. But the Italian, they went bald quickly.
They went bald quickly.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it comes through your mother's side.
The
Balding does. The balding gene is from one's mother.
So it must be the Japanese. So I must have got the Japanese. Because my grandpa, he was, I think, pretty well bald by the time he was 30. Something like that, like Italian grandpa. Not that it matters. It doesn't matter.
I'm sorry, you were out of the picture here the entire time we were
that's
talking
okay.
about that. But
I don't think they're saying being bald.
so, why don't you start getting yourself
I'll make
ready,
everything
and I'll
ready.
just finish with what I'm
Very good.
planning on
Yeah.
doing. So, or make the breakfast. You can make the breakfast.
Yeah, why don't I do that? Let's have some food.
Breakfast.
I'll do more together.
So then you can be part of the conversation. So one of the things that I'm really interested in doing this trip is drawing palm trees. Palm trees we don't have in Massachusetts or Minnesota. And I thought, well, while I'm here, I'll draw those. And they're the botanical cognate of a firework. You know, and this long line and then explosion. And I just think that they'd be fun to do drawings of, where maybe I animate the drawing so you see me draw from this stalk, the trunk up. We did drive by the marina. There was a shopping center, I guess, that had a large parking lot, and in every, throughout the parking lot, there was a palm tree planted, and it was a rather tall palm tree. And way at the top, there were these little tiny clump of leaves, and they just looked like those frilly toothpicks. And I sort of imagined in my brain, I thought if I looked over the hedge, at the bottom of these things would be cocktail wieners and little pieces of cheese skewered by the trunk. So anyway, I want to draw palm trees. I want to see if I can try to draw some of the landscape, because that's the bumpiness of this part of California is very different from Massachusetts or Minnesota. And I'm interested too in drawing the highways here. I like drawing overpasses and underpasses, and the more a highway intersection looks like a pile of spaghetti tossed on the floor, the more I like them. So I'm hoping I can find a spot that I can draw that. And Cedar will draw as well. And he refers to the kind of drawing we do as observational drawing. A lot of Cedar's work, as you can see on the walls here or in the sketches he posts on Instagram, they're sort of stuff that comes out of his own head. Whether they come out of the Japanese side of the head or the Dutch side, I don't know. I don't know if he's paying attention to me.
Oh, I hear you.
You okay? I
This is true. I do draw it. I don't know which side of my head it comes out of either.
Well, you like
Well,
cartoons.
MC Escher was Dutch.
Ah, there you go, MC Escher.
Wasn't he Dutch?
I think so.
There's a lot of intricate Japanese drawers as well.
Drawers, yeah.
Draftsman.
I like how you pronounce drawing and drawers. With you do it like Peter.
Peter Drawers.
Peter Drawers. You know him, right?
I'm wearing drawers right now.
You know Peter Draws.
Oh yeah. He's
He
world famous.
he says that's how I got to know Russell. Was Russell commented on I sent Peter a pen in the mail, a vintage pen for him to try, and he posted it, and Russell commented that he'd like to get a pen like that, so I texted him back and sold him some pens. So that's how I got to know him.
Oh, that's really neat.
But Peter pronounces drawing, like there's two W's in it, DRA or DRA hyphen WING. I pronounce it drawing, DRAWING. I mean DRAW hyphen ING. So you and Peter share your pronunciation.
I wonder why we do that. Why do we do that?
Drawing. So does anyone have any questions of either that you'd like to ask from either one of us, since we're here? And the pan is sizzling with something, maybe just butter or oil. Gary Scott follows you on Instagram.
Oh, cool.
There's 5 people in the room. Gary, would you like to join us live? I may not be able to broadcast too much longer because I'm running out of power on this device, and I want to have it powered up as much as I can before I go out today. No comments. No further comments seem to be made. So I'll say goodbye. Thank you for hanging out with us this morning. Bye.
Bye, everybody.